Drama tonight, the continuing crisis of football and crisis of identity at FC Barcelona. A week that started with the promise of a likely treble is now ending in embarrassment, shame, and calls for an overhaul of the squad. And for more on all of this, we now welcome in our Jamie Easton, who is live with us from Barcelona. Good evening, Jamie, outside the National Theatre of Catalonia, helping to add to the drama tonight. Let's start at the top with President Josep Bartomeu, who told everyone to relax following the Champions League elimination and the calls for the sacking of Ernesto Valverde. What are the chances Valverde could lose his job, Jamie, or does it look like he will survive this?
Well, every single chance is still open right now. They just closed the lights from the National Theatre, maybe because they knew we were here to add some drama to all this story. The thing is that next Monday there's a meeting of the Barcelona board at the Camp Nou. That happens every single Monday, but it will be the first meeting after the disaster at Anfield, and there they will talk about everything, about the present and about the future of the club too. And maybe, who knows, they will talk about Ernesto Valverde and who will have to sign. Some members of the board want Valverde to continue. They value very much the double they achieved last season, and they value very much the league they have already won this season, and they have the option of winning the double too. But some members of the board say that it cannot be the same manager being the protagonist, appearing in the picture of two consecutive historic failures for Barcelona, two consecutive historic disappointments. And this is what is happening right now in Barcelona. Fans are divided too, press is divided too, and we'll see if Ernesto Valverde says something on Sunday after the game the Barcelona has to play at the Camp Nou against Getafe. We'll see if he talks with us. We'll ask him if he is strong to continue and what are his impressions on that game. And it will be interesting as well, Jeremy, to know how the Barcelona fans welcome their players after that huge disappointment.
Yeah, for sure. There are limited options available in terms of managers right now, though, Jamie. So if Valverde was to go, or if he was to get sacked, the big question is, who would replace him?
Well, there are different names on the table. One of the names that has been appearing in the last hours is Ronald Koeman, one of the legends of Barcelona, the man that scored the goal that meant the first Champions League ever for the Catalan club. He is an admirer of Johan Cruyff. He is Dutch. And remember, De Jong is the first signing for Barcelona, and Barcelona wants to sign De Ligt too. So who knows if Ronald Koeman is one of the men there well located to manage Barcelona. The other one is the current manager of Ajax, Ten Hag. Who knows if he's an option too, but I can guarantee you, if you just keep reading these days that Xavi Hernandez is an option right now to be the manager of Barcelona, that is not true. That is not possible. Xavi Hernandez won't arrive to Barcelona this summer. It is too soon. He has contract until 2020, and after that, we'll see if he arrives to Barcelona. But someday, he will become the Barcelona manager. Nobody here doubts that.
Ten Hag is a name that's even made its way over here to North America in terms of mentions for Barcelona, potential Barcelona managers. Jamie, many fans and pundits are already making their who stays and who goes lists for Barcelona's summer transfer business. What do you think needs to happen with this team?
Well, there will be some players that will leave. That's for sure. That's a decision that has been already made by the current board. The thing is that they need to sign new players. Griezmann is appearing again. De Ligt from Ajax. They are not cheap players at all. So they need to sell, not players like Malcolm, for example. They need to sell important players right now for the club. For example, Umtiti. For example, Ivan Rakitic, who maybe could have a deal with Inter de Milan. The last reports are talking about 50 million euro from the Italian club. And obviously, Philippe Coutinho. He's been a huge disappointment for the Barcelona fans. And inside the club, they're starting to understand that the best option for him is to leave.
As always, Jamie, thanks very much. I know it's after 1 a.m. there, so thanks for staying up for us tonight.
No problem. It's Friday night, so I'm going to party right now, Jeremy. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks very much, Jamie. Our Jamie Easton reporting for us. from Barcelona. This weekend.
Tonight on the panel, we've got Andres Cordero, Ray Hudson, and Gary Bailey.
Hold on, Kate, where's
Thomas.
Tommy?
Something to do with Ajax, is it?
Thomas, it's okay. Step away from the knives, man. It's not worth it. Broken-hearted Thomas Rongan.
He is devastated.
Absolutely. And I'm right there with you, Tommy. I'm sending him my love, and get better soon, pal.
Good friend, huh?
I know, a great friend. We will get Thomas's thoughts this weekend because he will be with us, but we will get started right. Well, there's been some grimacing here on the panel. Listening to that, here is the road to the final, and it will be Spurs against Liverpool at the Wanda Metropolitano in the Champions League final of 2019. Ray Hudson was the one who was most concerned about this happening on Monday's show. Are you a witch, Ray?
Not just on Monday's show either, Kay. It's been consistent over the last 2 seasons. I thought Valverde would have learned a lot after Rome. But for the second back-to-back humiliation, and that's what it was, an absolute utter humiliation for Barcelona, I believe, this man has to go. I've never thought he was the right fit. I don't think that bravery in Barcelona's attacking football has been witnessed often enough throughout the regular season. Not just against a team like Liverpool, who were going to press like almighty hell on you, and the bravery to select players to come out and play the Barcelona way with that bravery. And I'm not talking about tiki-taka, but I'm talking about that expression of their personality. What did Guardiola say?
That when things are not going well is when you have to have the most conviction about your style. When you most believe in your system is when other people are criticizing it. And I think Valverde's comments, the part of that presser that we heard there, would be fine for just about any manager of any club. But it's indefensible for a Barcelona manager after that defeat to make it all about winning. He talked about last time we only lost the one game. It was the one in Roma. It was a debacle. This time is the only game we've lost in the Champions League. With Barcelona, when you're winning or when you're losing, it's not about the what. It's always about the how. And the how in this case is indefensible because the how showed a team with no personality, no reaction, that looked overwhelmed, looked overwhelmed by the moment, the venue, the opposition, couldn't match the intensity. The changes came too late. And sure, I think the season is a success. On the balance of Valverde's tenure at Barcelona, it is a success. He'll have won the double last season. He will very well could win the double this season. But it's not the what, it's the how. And the how is not good enough.
I don't know if this board, Gary, has the cojones to go out and get
Gary
somebody.
actually
so here's the thing. I'm trying to get my head around this argument. So one bad game, which it is. I mean, they've been unbelievable all season.
No, they haven't. No.
They're top of the league by God knows how many points. Yeah. They've walked the league. They did the double last year. They had one bad game last year against Roma. They had one bad game now.
So would that
and now
be
he has
acceptable
to go.
every year to have one bad game
okay, well,
in the Champions League?
Let's do an example. You talked about Pep and what a wonderful manager he is and his style. They got beat 5-1 by Liverpool last year. 5-1, not 4-3, 5-1. That's a debacle. Did anybody say Pep out? No. They said, okay, you know, he's won the league or he's won this or he's going to win that. It's all about winning, and nicely if you can win in style. But if you can't win in style, then at least win. And that's what Barcelona have been doing. Now, the problem with European Champions League, and it's a problem for Juventus, it's a problem for Real Madrid, it's a problem for PSG, is the competition is so good that it just takes one off day. Now, you can be a Bayern fan and go, we haven't won it for, I don't know, 9 years. Why? Or get rid of all the managers. But you can't win it every year. I mean, Real Madrid's 3 is just unbelievable. You're going to come up against a great team like Liverpool on one day, and you're out.
Right. You can say that one day, right? That could be an accident. Yep. Rome by itself could be an accident. Liverpool by itself could be an accident. Crashing out the same way with massive leagues in back-to-back Champions Leagues is not an accident. That's not a bug. It's a feature.
But every
of the
team's
system.
done that. Juventus have not won it for the last how many years, and they've crashed out every time.
So what I'm saying is to attribute Barcelona's success exclusively or in most part to Valverde would ignore the fact that they've won 10 of the 15 La Liga titles since Messi debuted. So other managers have had similar success, and this is not a brand of football that for most Barcelona fans is acceptable if you're not winning. And if you make it all about winning and you're winning, great. If you make it all about winning and you don't win, then you're left with
But you
nothing.
say it's not a great brand of football, and I've heard you both say that you've seen better brands in the past. They're still scoring a ton of goals, nearly as many as Man City, more than Liverpool, way more than Juventus, 24 more than Real Madrid. So they're scoring goals. They're exciting to watch. Do they play the way they used to? Will anyone ever play the way they did in 2011?
Let's bury that thought here. Let's bury it right now. That everyone's waiting for them to play like Pep Guardiola's Barca. Everyone recognizes that is gone.
Yeah.
Ajax are not Pep Guardiola's Barca. And Ajax are bounced from this competition, but they lead with their heads held high because they took it to Liverpool. They came in on the wrong side of it, but they showed personality, they showed character, they stayed true to their style, even when everybody else is saying, well, they should have been more pragmatic, they should have defended better. You know what? They went out their way. We can't say the same about Barcelona.
And under this man, they have blown, no matter what Gary says, and I respect and appreciate his point of view on the Valverde side. He's a fan of Valverde. He likes the way they play it because they're winning. But how a manager can blow two times, consecutive years, 3-0 leads, back to back, is just staggering.
In similar fashion.
In similar fashion, by the lack of his belief in the way that Barcelona should be lined up with the lineup as well, Gary.
So let's look at Real Madrid when they won it. They were 3-0 up at Juventus. They were 3-0 down. Now, a penalty in the last second saved them. If they lose that, we say Zidane's the worst manager out. It's part of football. It's a game against Liverpool at Anfield has killed the majority of teams who've gone there.
Madrid don't have the same obligation to play to play in a particular style to entertain. It's a different culture. It's a completely different football
But they have
culture.
to play good football. To some degree, they have to win.
Gary, listen, you be at that end of the bar with your friends and want Valverde to stay, and we'll be
You know what
I'll
he's
have a
doing.
cup on the other.